episode, Area Sales Managers Aaron Harpole, Kent Steinman, and Seth Elsner join us today for an area crop update and share opinions from farmers in their area.
Hi, this is Joe Merschman. Welcome to Cup of Joe, episode number 17, season 2. Today we have 3 special guests. Our regulars are off today, and these 3 are area sales managers that cover various areas in the Merschman Seed territory. So without further ado, I'm going to have them introduce themselves, and we'll get started.
I'm Aaron Harpole. I cover Kentucky, Tennessee, and part of northeast Arkansas.
I'm Kent Steinman. I cover eastern Illinois and north half of Indiana.
I'm Seth Elsner, and I cover the northern tier counties of Illinois and south half of Wisconsin.
Aaron, you're down there in Kentucky. Tell me about what's going on as far as harvest.
Harvest corn has been done for a little while. Beans are wrapping up. We're probably around 90% done. Guys are just ready to be done. It's been a long harvest.
So you've had the delays this spring and then delays this fall?
A little bit, yeah. As a whole, we're about on average as far as our normal year, but it's kind of been prolonged, just untimely rains during harvest. Had it dry for a while, then started raining back when guys are trying to cut beans. Besides
corn and soybeans, what else do they plant down in Kentucky?
We've got some tobacco, and then hemp has really grown a lot past year.
Is that for industrial use then?
Yeah. We've got a plant close to my home that's processing it, and guys are delivering it and cutting it with silage choppers and by hand, depending on variety. Bringing it there, using for flour, biomass, seed, about everything with it.
Okay. What are you seeing on the yields on Merschman soybeans?
Have been phenomenal. The enlists and LLGTs have been showing out. It's been right there or better than the extend beans in our area.
Good. Kent, tell me about what's going on in your area.
Well, pretty much everybody's getting wrapped up. We've got some corn left to go and finished up kind of the northern area. But yields and everything's been doing really well. Had a customer the beginning of this week tell me that, he kind of wrote down some yield averages he thought was going to be in August. They were 20 bushel better in the corn and 10 to 15 bushel better in the beans. So pleasantly surprised for him. That didn't happen everywhere, but it's been really good.
Well, eastern Illinois is an extremely productive area. So what are the yield ranges on corn and soybeans?
Really anywhere from 180 to 230 is what we've seen on corn. Probably 45 to 65 depending on when you got the beans planted.
So that's a little bit below what expectations are, but for the year it's pretty good, isn't it?
Yes, it's really good.
Good. Seth, you're up there in Wisconsin, where all the cheese and milk is. What's going on there? Are they getting harvest done?
It's slow but getting done. It's about 70% of beans are done right now, and close to 50% of corn, I would say, is about done. The LG 27s have been a pretty big hit up in my area this year. A lot of guys are looking forward to getting into the enlist system because of everything they've heard about it and how great the yields are looking on that too.
On the LLGT27, did they use a combination of glyphosate and glufosinate, in other words, Roundup and Liberty for post-weed control?
A little bit of both. I've heard it both ways, and guys seem to like that flexibility where they can use both and not have to worry too much.
And on the Enlist E3 system, which has the 2,4-D choline technology, the glufosinate, the Liberty piece, and then also the glyphosate, the Roundup piece, how are they using that technology post up your way?
They are looking forward to using it with the ease of being able to kind of move it basically any way they want to do it and what works for their farm specifically, and overall just the ease in the product.
What about the weeds? What are the major weeds that they're trying to control?
Water hemp, kind of a big one. Mare's tail, a little bit, but the Enlist system is going to take care of all that.
Kent, what are the major weeds in your area?
Water hemp's our biggest one. We've got your typical button weeds, lamb's quarters, mare's tail is going to be our main issues.
Aaron, down in Kentucky.
Pigweed is our biggest weed problem we have, and mare's tail.
Any palmer down your way?
Yeah.
Palmer?
Yep.
Which you're calling pigweed.
Pigweed, yeah,
yep,
correct.
That
Yep.
just covers them all, right? It's a bad weed, that's for sure. Well, Aaron, I'm going to go back to you. And What in your area is the number one thing that's kind of keeping farmers up at night? What are their major concerns right now going into 2020?
It's got to be cash flow. Money's tight right now, and cash flow is the number one thing on farmers' minds right now.
Just mainly due to the lower commodity prices and just in general the downturn in the economy on farmers.
That's correct, yes.
Kent, what would you say?
I'm gonna say the cash flow on it, and everybody's pinching the pennies, trying to make sure ends meet and come out good.
Seth, what do you think?
I would follow along with cash flow.
Okay.
A lot
Cash
of
flow.
guys are, yep.
Well, it's ironic though. Merchman Seeds here just announced this past week that we are going to a 0% financing program working with John Deere Finance. In other words, basically what we're saying is if you order by January 15th, we will give you the current cash discount and plus throw in the financing at no cost through John Deere Finance at 0%. So what do you think? Well, what kind of impact's that going to have on farmers down in your area, Aaron?
That's going to be huge. Like I said, money's tight, and that'll kind of help free up some money to use in other inputs that they would need. So it's going to have a huge impact.
Kent, do you see it a useful tool also?
Oh yes, I've had some great dealers that's kind of said, man, this is going to be great. It's going to help us out a lot. It just eases up the cash flow for sure.
Seth, what do you think?
Yep, and I've talked to a few people already about it, and they're pretty excited.
Good. Well, I'm glad. At Merchman Seeds, putting the farmer first is always been our major concern, and concern about profitability. We've been focused on this since day one. I mean, we just know that farmers right now are looking for ways to make everything fit together when it comes to profitability. And one of the things, as you're going out this year, with our lower prices that we have this year on soybean seed, that's helping too. So, I want to ask you one last question before we wrap this session up. What are you recommending, Aaron, for your area, and what are you excited about when it comes to soybeans in the Merchman Seed lineup?
On the Enlist E3 side, the Kennedy's 3.6s had been phenomenal. Your Eisenhower 3.9s and your Austin 4.0s are both two great varieties that have been showing out in my area. As you get later, your Atlantas and your Orlandos and Dallases are also a great fit for your later maturities.
How about on the LibertyLink GT27 side?
Your Trumans, which your 3.8s, and then Phoenixes have been doing well. You've got varieties that will fit different soil types that have been doing very well for us in Kentucky and Tennessee.
So if you're thinking about soybeans, definitely contact Aaron, right?
Correct, yes.
You'll take care of them, right? Kent, tell me what are your favorites in Eastern Illinois and Northern Indiana?
Well, on the Enlist side, the E3 beans, we've got the Hayes. You got some Harrisons that are really good. So the Harrison's a little bit early. The Hayes 3.4. Really like the Monroes, and the Kennedys have really shown up too. We really we got a solid lineup, depending on where you want to put it.
Seth, up in Wisconsin, what are you going to be recommending this year?
The Osage, Cheyenne, and Mohegans, they're all, I think, a solid lineup for the E3 beans. Any of them really is going to really work, just depending on where you put them.
Well, you worry a little bit about white mold up there.
A little bit in the white
brown
mold.
stem rot.
Yep.
Those are products, diseases that you can sometimes come in contact. Really, what I like about that Osage is it's got that Peking source of resistance, which most of the soybeans out there have PI 88788, which we've been relying on for years and years and years, and having a new, you might say, mode of action against cyst nematodes puts Osage. And by the way, in the areas in Group 2, not only in Wisconsin, but across Iowa and also Illinois, Osage is a good fit too. So we got a good supply. So, and that's the thing, that's the best part here at Merchman Seeds. We grew a lot of these new products, and supply is not a limiting factor. I mean, I know I see the blogs and I see what's going on out there, and there's a lot of people saying, hey, if you're going to do Enlist soybeans or LLGT27s, you better hurry because they're going to run out. Well, you don't have to hurry. Get your harvest done. Go ahead and get a hold of your local Merchman seed dealer, or one of these guys here, or one of the other Merchman area sales managers, and we can take care of you. But the key thing is we'd like to see things done before January 15th because, if you want to take advantage of the Farmer First financing, 0% interest, no additional cost, same as cash, That's going to end January 15th. So we got a lot of things going positive, great products. I think it's going to be a great year. I know I'm saying it's the year of the farmer. We got competition in the marketplace, driving prices down on seed, and we've got programs to help for cash flow. Gosh, I think we're at the right place for the need out there, and we hope that all of you listening at home consider Mershman Seeds as your #1 source for soybeans, and we'd love to talk to you. So let's kind of wrap things up today, and we appreciate, as always, your business, and we appreciate the fact that you're tuning in, and we'll see you next week. Take care.
From sun up to sun.